Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
It is day 41 of the Democrats' shutdown, and airport lines are enormous. There are some reports today of airport lines 6 to 8 hours long. And joining us now to talk about all of this is Jonathan Fahey, former acting ICE director. Jonathan, what do you make of this? I mean, the fact that it seems like Democrats do not care about the American public, that they're willing to have them wait in line, and then they're vilifying, ICE every turn. Larry Krasner. Judge, tell him about Larry Krasner of Philly.
Right. Jonathan, good to talk to you again. Krasner announces in the last couple of days that when the ICE people go into the airport in Philadelphia, they're subject to arrest by the Philadelphia police and to be handcuffed and to be processed. So my view of this as a former prosecutor, as a former judge, is as follows. Why isn't that obstruction of process by the federal authorities? Whatever happened to supremacy clause? And why is this guy not going to be indicted and prosecuted and convicted, removed from office, and disbarred for the above?
And by the way, Jonathan and Judge, he's the same guy who also was saying that ICE are Nazis, Gestapo. He was the one who was using that language. So then you added to this guy has consistently vilified our brave men and women in ICE.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad you made that point about why aren't they prosecuting him, because his sole intention is to impede and obstruct ICE from doing their job. So it really is a very good point. And the other point is, like you said, the supremacy clause. There's something called supremacy clause immunity, which is a broader standard than the qualified immunity, which is a civil standard. So the fact that he's also making the statement at the same time he's talking about the ICE agents following the Constitution, he's then advocating something that's clearly unconstitutional. But what makes it even worse for him, if he were to send somebody out to try to arrest ICE agents for things done in their official duties, they would actually be able to arrest the officers trying to arrest the ICE agents for obstruction. So the irony would be he would put his own agents or own officers at risk of being prosecuted, and the officers have, I don't want to say absolute immunity, but effectively the highest level of immunity offered under the law, supremacy clause immunity, which, again, makes total sense when you see what's going on.
And by the way,
officials stopping federal officials.
And you're absolutely right. Not only that, the district attorney does not direct the police officers to make arrests. That's the job of the superintendent of police or the police commissioner. Right. So he's totally out of bounds of his jurisdiction as well.
Yeah, he's just beyond disgraceful, and he's one of these, quote unquote, progressive prosecutors that is always anti-law enforcement. It's not just anti-ICE. He has a history of being anti-cop at every turn and doesn't care about the citizens of his city. It's just about pushing this progressive agenda. But it's basically the same thing as what the Democrats are doing with the shutdown. They don't care about the American citizens. I mean, I'm actually at this point marveling at their commitment to illegal aliens, because we've all known they're more committed to illegal aliens than American citizens, but they're at a point they are so committed, they've also become contemptuous of American citizens. They don't seem to care, and I have to say I did not expect this to go on this long or to get this bad, but the Democrats they're going over the cliff, holding their flag for the illegal aliens, and particularly Chuck Schumer, whose political career is essentially dead if he can't get a win out of this, and he is clinging to everything to have the far left look at him, treat him like he's strong and committed to them. But it's such a disservice not only to the American people waiting in line, but for public safety, national security, which the Democrats, again, don't care as much about that as they do illegal aliens.
You know, it's amazing. I think the most defining moment, you guys, was during the State of the Union when President Trump said, will you stand up and will you support American citizens over illegal immigrants, the rights of American citizens to protect them? And the Democrats didn't stand up. And even Trump said, you should be ashamed of yourself. I think everybody in America was watching that moment saying, boy, and every single day they're living to it. That to me was mind-boggling. I think any American said, wait a minute, we're taking the back seat?
Right. It was such a defining moment because it was so true. Like, it encapsulated the whole debate just so clearly. The Democratic Party always, not just in rare instances, always puts illegal aliens ahead of American citizens. We have this murder in Chicago of Sheridan Gorman that should have absolutely not happened. And it's not just theoretically that it should have happened. If they did not put illegal aliens first, this person would have not been allowed in to begin with. That's Biden Mayorkas, and he wouldn't have been released back in the streets of Chicago. That's on Johnson and Pritzker, and they'd rather have as many illegal aliens in the country than protect the lives of a young college student. It's one of the most disgraceful things. It's hard to even believe that it's true. The Democrats have gotten so radical on this.
Absolutely. Governor Patterson.
You know, I hearken back 60 years ago.
How old were you then?
He wasn't born yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You weren't born yet. Okay, go ahead.
Pre-teens. But it was 60 years ago when the southern states, the senators, the Congress members, the local elected officials, the sheriffs, did everything they could to stop the civil rights protesters who were protesting to try to get equal opportunities for other people. And, of course, it culminated in the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. And even that night, I remember, I was actually 14, listening to the radio when Senator James Eastland said to the interviewer, well, I'm sorry, but when you cause trouble, this is what the result of it is. Now, from that statement, it's akin to the way people who benefited from that struggle are acting now. They have actually embraced the tactics and even the credo of the Southern leaders at that time. And it's outrageous to see people acting like that. And someone that couldn't stand, no matter who was saying it, for the opportunity for the country to get better, should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, that is such a great point, because that is a perfect comparison. Is what the Democrats are doing now is the exact, not only the same tactics, but just basically the same theory that you can nullify any law you don't agree with, and you can do anything you want in order to achieve that goal. And it's so shameful, and it's so accepted by not only the Democratic Party, which has no moderates save for John Fetterman on a national level, but even on the media. This should be one of the most outrageous things, because what they're doing, this has nothing to do about ICE tactics. That's all a pretext. Their issue is they do not want illegal aliens deported, and they fight tooth and nail for this. Because remember, this all started when Trump took office the second time in January 25. They were already calling ICE agents Nazis and all of these things. This was their plan, to create chaos, subversion, and then try to blame it on ICE. But this started before Minneapolis and before any of these things. So all of these things, again, are just pretextual reasons, because they don't have the political courage, at least, to say our view is we're in favor of mass amnesty. But they can't achieve that politically, so they have to go through these subversive methods, which is really, it's shameful. And our country really, like you said, Governor, our country can't function if laws cannot be enforced, because a political party does everything they can to essentially nullify them. And that's a really important thing, because if it applies here, does it apply to any other laws that people disagree with?
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Well, former acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey, thank you very much. It's always good to have you on, Jonathan. Thank you.
Thank you.